20 years of independent design, I always looked to architecture as a means of creating beauty. In fact, in my career, I have been obsessed with the notions of beauty through years of study of classical proportions, or working with diverse materials, or pushing the architectural into the sculptural and my own metal fabrication shop. I will get even crazy excited to make a bathroom look significant and beautiful. Last year, I was given a project that gave me and my team an opportunity to look to architecture somewhat deeper. When I was asked to design a medical cannabis dispensary in this city, I looked to design for meaning. I wanted to elevate this poorly understood entity rather than to put a high design veneer over it. There is no precedent for cannabis dispensaries in modern design. In fact, we realized we were being asked to put a face in an industry without one. Fortunately for us, we were hired by an individual who was quite visionary, a grower who was looking to us as artists to give understanding. For many of us, growing up in the US, marijuana is as common as tea. Although largely underground, the sale, use, consumption existing is part of our daily lives. As it was shown to also alleviate many conditions of suffering, such as bad effects of chemo, laws eased and dispensaries started appearing. Although many in very seedy storefronts in bad parts of town, forcing patients to visit there, we sought out to change that. So looking to inspiration, and never really being a smoker, so I couldn't use that experience, I looked to the industry, and I found sophisticated growers, a long time developing a serious agricultural craft, not unlike that of winemaking or the cultivation of fine tea. I also found a pervasive attitude of benevolence that stems from those trying to help individuals suffering from illness. And furthermore, I found the need, after many years of federal persecution, to integrate as valid members of a community. And furthermore, a real conscientiousness for the environment. Very interesting. Architecture is a functional art that cannot be separated from its use. Although architecture can also exude an effect upon us as it plays with our collective memories or fantasies and shapes them into form and shapes how we feel in a space. So if architecture can thus reconfigure our emotional history into form, perhaps it can speak meaning to us. And so, looking to simple references that many of us share, I strove to tell kind of a story with this project. Looking to the tradition of the sale of medicinal herbs, although modern in form, the design took reference from old apothecaries. Its many bins filled with different strains of cannabis, filling the walls in dovetail oak containers accessed by rolling ladder. I also wanted to give clinical simplicity to the counters and the display of the different leaves. They're held in science glass containers, signaling the testing and development that went into creating the product. I also wanted to give the space austerity and a serenity that would be inherent to, like, say, a Japanese tea house, and to signal the culture of ceremony within, to give the space a sense of peace, art, and beauty. Many of the elements are real sculptural interpretations of their function. For example, the counters or the seating are minimalist shapes, or the storefront, which is an abstraction of the DNA imprint of cannabis, or the lighting, which was science glass and LED that we composed to float in the ceilings. The craftsmanship in the metalwork, woodwork, the lighting design, all strove to represent the craftsmanship and the attitude inherent in the industry. My intent with this project was to create an environment that not only gave a way to look at the medical cannabis industry, that made it visible, but also to create a space that elevated the experience of the patients into the more poetic, to give significance and an emotional context to an aspect of our culture that has just recently come out of the dark. Thank you.